One more time. My name's Spider-Man.
Wait, is this the intro? Is this real?
That's the intro into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, well, welcome in, guys. No.
1,000, okay. We didn't talk about 1092.
No, we didn't.
Just so
sad.
Give me your short thoughts on like 1092, because that's the speed is power, acceleration is power chapter.
You know,
what do you think about that?
Funny enough, when I think of 1092, I forgot that Kizaru and Luffy are even there. You know, I was too hung up on the on Akainu roasting Kuma's foot, lobotomizing him and knocking his foot off. That was crazy, man. Who would have thought?
Akainu's a bad man.
In a good way. He was just looking out for the celestial dragons, you know. He was doing his best.
Yeah, he likes taking body parts.
Yeah, he doesn't miss. Literally. He just lands every blow, and every blow is fatal. Magma's crazy.
Oda does a great job of showcasing just how lethal he is, you know?
Yeah.
Like just Kuma, he takes off half his head, which seems to be like a thing he does. I pointed out that Aokiji has like a scar by his neck there, his neck area.
you think Akaino's trying to take off that head
He
too?
tried it. Dang. And he just like got his neck, you know?
He's efficient, man. He's efficient.
Great.
Good KD headshot ratio.
You know what I love? I love like the people, the Yonko and Admiral people. The Yonko, I would say not even stands, because I really love the Yonko.
I like the Yonko too.
Yeah, it's really past stands. You're not a Yonko stan.
Yeah.
You're just delusional, right? You're just the delusional ones. You're no longer Yonko stans, because I've met a lot of reasonable Yonko stans. You delusional people that, you know, you had the Yonko 3 Admirals to Yonko, whatever, and just see you walk it back, you know, and just eat your words.
It feels good.
Eat that 5-star meal. It feels so good because, you know, coming into it, you know, Kizaru doesn't stand a chance. And then Kizaru's casually blocking Gear 4th, you know, just casually, you know, just taking it. And then
chilling,
he just
smiling. Oh.
And then he comes and just sends Luffy flying, you know? And then everyone's like, oh. He grabs him at the end of chapter 1092. Now we can go to 1093. It starts with him grabbing Kizaru. Luffy just spins around and throws him, which is more plot than anything, right? Because I can't imagine being in a fight, having somebody in a chokehold and just letting them go. Like, yeah, I'm going to push you down to the ground. It was more trouble when you had them in a chokehold. Why would you let them go?
Yeah, I don't know what Luffy's plan was here. Maybe he thought that by throwing Kizaru that they would have enough time to get off the island with Vegapunk. But little did Luffy know, Vegapunk had different plans. He wanted to go down to the battlefield, bro. He wanted to save Bonnie. And,
yeah, Vegapunk's weird.
Kizaru was back in a second. Actually, you could probably blink and Kizaru was already back. It's kind of crazy.
Does Luffy think he's Netero? Where he's going to send Neferpitou flying from the battlefield?
Hey, maybe. I mean, Luffy was smiling and everything. You know,
yeah, it was just weird. It was weird. Bro.
The best part is that this is lost in translation in the TCB and even OP scans. But you know when Kizaru says, "Hey now, woohoo," you actually see musical notes that Oda has drawn in that dialogue. So Kizaru's even humming a tune. He's over here clicking his tongue, like moving his head a little bit. He's having fun. Yeah, Sandman actually tweeted that out, so you can see Oda's manuscript.
Wow.
And yeah, Kizaru is actually, you know, getting jiggy with it right here.
Because it says, like, in the official, it says, now, let's not get carried away.
Yeah.
So he's actually, like, just singing and enjoying it.
Do you have any nieces or nephews, Brago?
Yeah.
Are they young?
What's young?
I don't know, like elementary school, toddler, you know, around that age.
No, they're older now.
Dang, I was about to say, man, because in a weird way, like Kizaru's acting like how we would if a little kid tried to punch us. We're like, whoa, you're really strong, young man. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Kizaru's like,
that's just how it is. That's how it feels.
Yeah, he has like development issues.
Maybe. Hey, if that's the route you're going to take it, sure, yeah. I mean, Kizaru, a little bit lost in the head. He's in his own world.
Yeah, he's like an earhead.
Yeah, I would just be very I'd just be very discouraged if I fought somebody and they acted like how Kizaru's acting in this chapter. I mean, I guess the same goes with Luffy, right? Luffy laughs at everything.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like somebody's giving him a taste of his own medicine. Luffy laughs at you while fighting. Kizaru just doesn't care about you.
And Kizaru's medicine being weed.
Lean. Oh, yeah, that too.
Well, we're gonna go into Kizaru and them, but like
sipping.
We get to like Vegapunk and them, and like for whatever reason, Vegapunk wants to save Bonnie, right? Because Bonnie, she got kicked into the barrier apparently, the all powerful barrier,
the barrier that kills everybody that it touches. Yeah.
Yeah, the barrier that kills everybody that it touches.
100%
right?
power. Couldn't leave the island actually. It was kind of insane. This barrier is OP.
Barrier is insane. Bonnie gets kicked into it, then she gets saved by Sentomaru. She's turning people into kids, into old men. Sentomaru is posing like Sanji after he got struck by an L, right? And one thing about Bonnie that's clear is that a lot of people know her and they like her, right? Which means she's more than likely raised around the Marines.
Yeah.
But the thing, bro, before the chapter, it wasn't much chatter, right? I know some people just told me, yo, stay away from Twitter, but because normally it's like somebody like it'd be things like, oh my god, this chapter is going to be insane. This chapter, based off the leaks. I get to the chapter and the thing that's the most like discussed is Zoro Advanced Conquerors.
Yeah.
Well, there's one more thing. We'll talk about that as well. But Zoro versus Lucci. Is Zoro using Advanced Conquerors Haki or Conquerors Haki Infusion, or is he using King of Hell mode?
It's so hard. And here's the thing. The reason why there's so much debate, I don't blame any of the fans, right? You can say this is Advanced Armament, Ryu. Like, you could bring up any argument, and it could somewhat be plausible. Because Oda has just handled Conquerors Haki, Armament, and Clashes and Black Lightning so inconsistently.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah, no, we cannot, like, Oda could draw Conquerors Haki here, and we would still have people questioning what's going on. Somebody could say this is Conquerors Haki in the manga, and we would still have people wondering what's going on. And that's more on Oda than I would want to admit.
It's a flawed system.
Yeah.
It's a flawed system. I think even...
It's hard.
Remember when we got to Wano?
Yeah.
Oda's like, yo, I'm going to have Luffy learn Rio, right?
Yep.
And I'm also have the people of Wano called Haki Rio.
Yeah, that's their version of hockey, but it's like advanced hockey that has like this gel aura around it that only gets shown sometimes, but not other times. It's like, okay.
But then what happens is now you have people like, when you say, well, is Luffy using Rio? They're like, well, Rio is hockey, so obviously he's using not what I meant. Not what I meant, not what I mean. And you know that. Why are you bringing that up? We all know Rio is hockey. But when I mention Rio, I'm not just trying to be a smart ass by just saying hockey a different word. That's not like me saying Ryokyu or some right?
Yeah. People give me flack for that because I call him Green Bull. It's like, brother, you try saying Ryokugyu over and over. That will kill you. I messed up the first time right there. Yeah, that's cursed. That is cursed.
We're not saying that. We're not saying that. It's just like if you say Isho, right?
Yeah.
Because somebody was like, why do you call these characters like Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru, and you say Fujitora, and like I just call them by the name they're most known as.
That's how it is.
That's it. They're most like you can say Sakazuki, and I think more often than not, a One Piece fan will know who Sakazuki is. But I realize there are a lot of people that don't know Akainu's real name is Sakazuki.
Yeah, it falls on deaf ears. I once said Kizaru, and somebody said, "Oh, don't you mean Borsalino?" It's like, brother, what?
Come on,
yeah, get out of here.
Come on. Let's.
I got a good chuckle out of that one.
But Oda like confuses the heck out of the fans with like hockey, and even with Advanced Conquerors for the most part you can tell because the Black Lightning is so prominent. But I remember like this debate was happening when Kobe used Honest Impact. It was like, wait, is he using Advanced Conquerors Haki? Somebody's like, Garp isn't using the Conquerors Haki. So it's a very dope power system, but it's flawed and it has a lot of things about it. It's just like all over the place.
The worst part about Advanced Conquerors is that if the other person doesn't have Advanced Conquerors, then and they don't have that little space in between, it's like, is that Conquerors Hockey or is that Armament? It's like, ask Oda, man. Like, if we're gonna go with headcanon, and if I were to take a stab at what I think Zoro's using here, by the end of the Lucci versus Zoro panels, I do think there is some advanced armament in there. That's my headcanon. And yeah, King of Hell, throw it in there too, because we do have that ghastly aura as well.
Right.
It's looking good.
I think this is not like full blown King of Hell. I'm about to bring out Ashura, but I think he's using King of Hell. I think he's using advanced art. I think he's using infusion of Conqueror's Haki as well.
Yeah, we can say this is base level Zoro. Base level Zoro is getting crazy.
Right, base level Zoro is using these advanced techniques casually now.
Yeah.
Like when he actually wants to try harder, they're amplified. But right now he's just using them casually, and that's just the base of it. But Rob Lucci's using Awakening, so it's not like Rob Lucci's just in base. Like they've both turned it up a notch. I guess we can get back to Kizaru and Luffy.
Yeah. What do you think about this fight though with Zoro and Lucci? Do you think there's gonna be a conclusive winner, or do you think they're just gonna keep on clashing until we leave?
This clashes. Oda still has plans for Lucci.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to make it look like worse.
Yeah,
if
he already
Zoro
lost.
here, he looks worse. So it's just like it makes more sense for it to get interrupted, and then you save Lucci for like something down the road, because I don't think he's gonna stop pursuing the Straw Hats.
Yeah, this is like his lifelong mission now, just getting revenge.
That's it. He's emotional. Kizaru gets sent to the ocean, and he's like he's joking. He's like, seems to be like, I'm falling to the ocean.
I'm gonna take.
I guess I should try. Right? Then he used Yasakani no Magatama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, we've always seen him use that attack. It's just like him spamming light pellets.
But
this time, he assimilates within the light pellets, and then he clones himself from the light. And where Luffy can't really tell which one it is, which one is actually him, then he attacks Luffy with a blade. The blade cuts Luffy, Gear 5 Luffy, by the way.
I like how you throw that in there. He cuts Luffy while Luffy is in his highest power, by the way. No big deal.
Right.
Luffy wasn't sleeping.
And then Luffy takes out the clones, and he realizes Kizaru's not even there. Right? Kizaru's down there choking out Usopp. Now, something I gotta ask you, how do you feel about the eyes popping out? Is that still impactful for you?
No. I'm glad you brought that up. Like, I love the eyes popping out against Kaido, but seeing it used, I think I'm bad at counting, right? I'm a little bit Asian, but the eyes pop out, I think 3 times in this chapter, and it's kind of losing impact on me. I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad, but it's like,
is it?
Like if the eyes weren't popping out, I'd be like, oh, that's cool too. Subtlety's not bad.
Yeah.
4 times.
It just keeps I see 4 times.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I get it. This is the quirk of Gear 5, but it's also the some of the issues some people have with Gear 5, where they feel like the tension is being lost, and like, I think it's going to get turned up. This is meant to be a fun time, not to be examined as closely as we are, but I can't help but say it. Like, when I see the eyes pop out, I don't
like, okay,
I don't feel that.
Here's a good way to put it. The eyes popping out when it's a 1v1 isn't bad. I actually enjoy it, but the eyes popping out while Kizaru is manhandling Usopp is kind of goofy. Like, it's certain scenarios where the eye popping just feels off. Like, imagine if Kizaru went a step further and killed Usopp. Would the eyes still pop out? Like, whoa, Usopp's dying, guys. Check it out.
Sink within himself like a cartoon.
Yeah. I think that's my main thing.
I don't know. It's like, we'll see how it goes. I expect this fight to be turned up. Somebody did say, though, said that they don't feel the intensity from the fight, where it feels super jovial. I'm like, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Right now, it's going to get serious for sure, but it feels super jovial.
It's still starting.
Yeah. It's still in the beginning stages. I'm not sure how much longer Egghead we have, but I think Egghead gets us through the year.
Yeah.
Personally,
at least
especially
1,100. I feel like that's gonna be a big one, and the breaks, yeah.
So I think it's here to stay. So I think Oda's gonna spend some time with Kizaru and Luffy eventually. Like I said, the popping out, it's just, it gets old. Kizaru sends an attack to Vegapunk. Luffy jumps in front of it, eats it, right?
It's like, yo,
looks like he's
hot.
taking some damage, right? But what's funny is that Oda had Luffy and Imu both eat an attack.
Yeah. They both ate attacks. I wonder if that's foreshadowing or giving us some insight as to what Imu's ability is.
I think so.
I think so as well.
I think so. But the fact that he's able to do that, it just, I thought it was a cool way to bring it back around. Now Frankie and Vegapunk are those boys. They're going after Bonnie, right? Which is, it's going to turn into a mess.
Yeah.
But the chapter ends off with
Sleepy Saturn.
Now, people are saying Saturn is finally going to make his move because he can't avoid being seen anymore. What if his ship gets blown up?
That would be a big incident on Egghead Island. Saint Saturn just dies to a cannonball, yeah?
I don't know if he dies.
Okay, but like his ship just gets blown up in general is what you mean.
Yeah, right. So he has to leave it.
Yeah, I could see that. Like a pacifista shoots a beam his way. Maybe Saint Saturn eats a beam. Who knows? Maybe he's next. It's a buffet.
Maybe. Because a lot of people feel like their powers are predicated from Imu's powers. So it's like, is that something that he has in his arsenal? We'll see.
Either way, I think Saint Saturn needs to do something, man, because Oda has ended off chapters, or at least teased Saint Saturn doing something for a while now.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, man, any minute now, the old guy's going to get out of his chair. He's going to stop eating those sausages and he's going to do something. And now that Vegapunk is coming to him, it's like, this is the best time. The order is given. They're downstairs. And not to mention Edison, right after they went downstairs, Edison brought the dome back up. So it'll take a minute if the Vegapunks want to go back up to the Labo phase. So Vegapunk, Atlas, Sanji, and Frankie are stuck down there for a hot minute. And I don't see it turning out too well.
And when they open everything, even if it's for a short time, we got 2 Blackbeard parts.
Yeah.
Well, not 2, but we assume 2. We assume 2.
Lafitte and Devon.
Right.
What do you think they're gonna do? Like, what's your take on that?
Kidnap York, maybe?
Kidnap York? I could see that. Yeah. Kidnap York, get the Mother Flame from her brain with pudding. That wouldn't be bad. Stacking your ass.
I think that.
When you said why do you have to word it like that? Now I'm just thinking about York's cheeks. I was like, yes,
stacking your assets.
Stacking assets, yes, of course.
I was about to make a crazy transition, but
you can still make it if you want. It's not too late. It's not too late.
Speaking of assets, Bonnie.
The other hot topic on Twitter, right? Was that the second one?
Yeah, that was the second one.
Yeah, people are going crazy about that Bonnie age, man.
It's getting weird.
It's getting a little bit strange. People are bringing out the receipts of all the times Bonnie's been scandalous, and it's like, you know what? You guys are the ones searching that up,
Yeah.
You gotta let sleeping dogs lie.
Like, the first time Bonnie's introduced to us, she does kind of like have, like when she introduced us in Sabodi, where she's eating a pizza and she's like on the table, I think. And she's just like there what did you say?
You said the front facing. It's a good. You said full bean as well. That's a good one. I love those.
It was PFF,
pussy popping on the table.
It was PFF, right?
Yeah. At the time, it's like, oh, this is a grown lady.
Yeah, and then even after that, we had Bonnie where she's getting dressed in that chapter, like right at the beginning of Egghead.
Yeah. Oda's trying to put us on fraud watch.
And so now, like
the bait and switch.
Vegapunk calling her a little girl. I mean, people looked at it as, Bonnie's actually a kid, like a young child.
That's a rough one. It can go either way because like Vegapunk's old, man. Like Vegapunk's like probably 80 years old. Anybody who's under 50 is a youngster to him. So it's
exactly.
It could go either way.
I think that makes the most sense. If Bonnie is actually a child, Oda's kind of sick. He's kind of sick for that.
I feel like if Bonnie is a child, I feel like there's going to be a a weird situation about it though. Like maybe she's like stuck in a different timeline with their devil fruit. Maybe it's a sugar thing where she can't age out of like a younger body, but she's like mentally a different age because, you know, Japanese animes kind of go crazy with that. Like, oh, it's a 1,000-year-old demon, but it's trapped in the body of a little girl. Like, ooh,